Stewardship is everything.
Okay, we're in town where we're going to be moving a house in. We talked about the footings earlier. We got the floor poured. I'm going to talk about that in just a little bit. But these are called ICF forms, Insulated Concrete Forms. They're stay-in-place forms, and they've been around for a long time. When they became popular, there was a lot of companies that started making these, and they didn't all survive. The company that I started working with was bought out by Fox Blocks, and that's what these are. And what we do is we drill our holes for our rebar, our vertical rebar. If you look down in here, you'll see the paint spots. That's how we find where the rebar is, because we don't put our verticals in until our wall's pretty much all built. And some people will they'll stub in some rebar, and then they'll put a piece of PVC plastic around there to hold that rebar when it comes down in there. PVC pipe cut off, just a sleeve to set in there that catches the bottom, so when the concrete hits it, it doesn't move out of the way. But we found that this works better for us. But it's pretty simple. They are reversible. There's no top, no bottom, and they just like the Legos that we used when we were kids. And I actually haven't done a poured wall basement for probably 8 or 9 years. This is about all we do anymore. And the cost is a little bit higher, but if you're going to finish your basement, I've talked to several HVAC people, and when they do a load study on what the house is going to take, they pretty much, this kind of basement, they consider it as a zero demand. And there's others, I'm sure, that will disagree with that, but this ends up being a very, very comfortable living space. So that's how we set it up. And these straps in here are for your rebar saddles, and we'll lay rebar in there on every single course, and the verticals will be 24 inches apart, so the verticals will be 16 inches apart, and we'll just stack them up. We have a couple of egress windows that will be going in when we get that far, and that's how that works. Okay, I wanted to explain kind of how we do our footings and our floor. And we pour our footing first, and then we form this in and we pour our floor on top of our footing. There are a lot of people that pour their footing and then they use their footing as a screed line to pour their floor, so their floor and their footing are the same elevation here. And then here, the way we do it, the wall sits here, and here the wall sits here. So you have a cold joint where the footing is and the wall comes down, the concrete and the wall comes down, and you wouldn't think that that would leak, but I can almost guarantee you it will. If your basement is like this, that water will migrate underneath that floor and into your basement. And I've followed a lot of jobs, and that's exactly the problem that they're dealing with. And that's a very expensive fit. But here, the minimal amount of water that does seep underneath there, it doesn't end up on top of your floor, but it goes underneath your floor and migrates back into the soil. We always put a 6 mil vapor barrier underneath. We live in a part of the country that there is some radon in the soil around that migrates into the house, and that's one of the primary reasons that we put that in there. But it also changes the way that the floor cures out. So this is a very important point as far as I'm concerned. This is the way we've always done it, and we'll continue to do it because we've had a lot of success in doing it that way.
Thanks for sticking with us as we take you step by step through this foundation pour. Soon, very soon, we will be able to share with you a foundation pour we are extremely excited about, the foundation of our barn. Until that project comes to fruition, come back next time to see just how these ICF walls are poured. Be sure to subscribe and like so you don't miss a thing, and until next time, take care and God bless.